Hi, how's it going? So my name's Tom. Thanks for checking out my website. So feel free to browse the site, watch videos, read about the team, that sort of thing. But basically, I've just done this video to give you my story really as to why I got involved with Juice Plus. You may be able to relate to it, you might not. But feel free to like, share this with other people. So yeah, here goes. Okay, so I'm 24 years of age. I've got a farming background. This is my dad's farm here that I'm walking around in. Before Juice Plus, I was obviously working on the farm for a few years with my dad, and then went on to university. Didn't like it, ended up dropping out, and it really knocked my confidence. University, it really did. So I left that with zero confidence. I didn't believe I was ever going to be something. And I just settled for a job that I'd been working while studying, and it was just a standard retail job, no real job prospects with it, no real promotions available, but it was fairly fulfilling. I was helping people with their running. Okay, so you're probably thinking, wow, that sounds amazing, but it was okay. It was a steady job, but over the years it got a bit worse. Okay, so the hours started getting dropped at our shop. I found myself working alone a lot, so I wasn't even with a team. There was no banter or anything like that. And yeah, I wasn't seeing many customers as well. It was starting to go downhill because people were getting tighter with the money. And my shop was like specialist, so we only got a few customers. When we did, they were obviously asking a lot of advice and stuff. So yeah, long days. Some days working like 9 till 7 on my own, not knowing when I could get a food break in, that sort of thing. I didn't really know where I was going with life. I honestly didn't. I read a book called The Alchemist, and I absolutely loved it. It really inspired me again to want to go travelling. It'd always been in the back of my mind, but I never thought I'd have a vehicle for it. And to be honest, at this point I didn't have a vehicle either, no way to really travel, but I knew after reading this book that it was going to happen. I was definitely going to travel. I was definitely going to do sort of things that I have always wanted to do, explore. It's in my nature, it's in my blood. I always like getting out in the outdoors. I've just got to see the world now, not just the farm and my local surroundings. So yeah, I read the book, loved it, and I started looking for ways to make extra money on the side. So not just putting more hours at my job, because that wasn't going to get me anywhere. The only way to keep earning more money that way would just be keep putting more hours in. Not for me. But at the same time, I didn't want to travel and have to come back and then find another job. So I wanted to find a way where I could just be always making money, ticking over. So I started looking at online opportunities. First thing I jumped into was poker. Okay, so you're probably thinking, that's gambling, it's risky. But there's a lot of people online making a lot of money. Live as well, obviously, millions on live. But online's great. So I started giving that a shot. But before long I was investing, obviously a lot of money, but a lot of time. You're talking like 12, 14 hours a day playing poker behind a screen, running downstairs at 5-minute breaks to make a Chicago town pizza or whatever, and it was just really affecting my life. And obviously you can play for so many hours and still not make any money, so it was quite depressing at times. And after a good 12 months of it, I finally said, this is enough's enough. I can't keep doing this. Yes, I had some good cashes. I made like $5,000 in one tournament and stuff like that, and it sounds great, but that wasn't all profit, and it just wasn't enjoyable. So I stopped doing that and looked for other opportunities. I then stumbled across selling things through the internet. So I started selling off some of my old toys at first through like eBay and stuff like that. And yeah, I did okay. I made a bit. Got some money back from some of my toys that I had stored away in boxes. And then I started thinking, well, do you know what? I can sell other things. So I started buying and selling stuff. I looked at the Chinese market, looked for cheap things to buy in from China and sell them on. But before long, my room was just full of clutter, full of stuff. And if it wasn't selling, it was just taking up space. And then I started getting people moaning about returns, stuff like that, damaged items. I mean, it was just so much hassle. I didn't really know what to do, and to be honest, to this day I've still got a bit of stock left over. So yeah, it wasn't for me. I didn't like that side of things. So I kept looking. The next thing I found was this thing called Free Easy Money. Don't Google it, but basically it's where you back and you lay against a bet and you can make bonuses from certain websites. So the key is I had to like register to about 30 different gambling sites, and what I'd do is I'd find the odds where they're very similar to back and lay against through Betfair, and yeah, it made me a few quid here and there. But at one point I had to bet, just to get the full bonus, I had to bet something like 300 quid on a Real Madrid match, right? Just to make 330 back, so I've made 30 quid from that. And although there was no risk to that, just to have that, I had to risk, I felt like I was risking 300 quid just to make that sort of money. It's pathetic, and I don't really know why I did it, but you know, I made a few hundred quid. It was never going to make me a steady income, so yeah, I eventually I just thought this is pointless, so I stopped doing that. And it was at this point where I was just getting really fed up. I really was, working a lot of hours, still had all this stock left from China, and then I got this phone call off one of my best mates, and this guy, he normally comes to my shop to like buy running stuff through me, so he rang me up and he actually asked something to tell me, something to offer to me, an opportunity to offer to me, and that's never happened before. So straight away I could tell he was excited. That excitement came across so well, and I just had to find out what he was doing. So he invited me around to his house, started telling me about this nutrition breakthrough. Again, he used to always come to me for nutrition advice, so I was blown away when he started showing me this other stuff, and it's basically like the power of fruit and veg. And he was showing me this ultra runner who has used the products for like 15 years or something daft, and he's had no illnesses, no setbacks, runs crazy mileage, and he believes health is more important than fitness. And it just clicked. I just knew this was good. Like, this is good stuff. He started talking about the science. Again, you know, we love to have some backing from science, and this company had it. It had everything. You know, they weren't even paying these athletes. The athletes were just taking the products because they really liked them. So that was it for me. I just had to learn more. So Steve then said, well, there's an event on. Let's go to this event. I was lucky enough to meet Rob Molyneux, and Rob just talked us through, again, fruit and vegetables, but then he touched on the business side as well, and it just blew me away. Like, initially I thought I'd have to sell loads of fruit and vegetables, but then seeing this and how it was hassle-free and no stock, and it was like light bulb moment, you know. I just thought, oh my god, what have I been doing all this time? This is perfect. And I just snapped straight away. I just jumped in 2 feet, you know, 65 quid to join the company. Obviously listened to everything that Rob had to say, it all checked out fine. I had to give this a shot, so I jumped on board, and then before you know it, because of my enthusiasm and my interest for the products and the company, Rob then said, well, listen guys, come to France with me, Nice, France, in a few weeks. Come to the major conference over there and see for yourself just what's going on with this company. And I was just like, yeah, for a few days, that's no harm. Managed to get the time off work, flew out to France, and wow. Whatever I had seen at that event beforehand with Rob, it just knocked out the wall, because this was different. This was like 3,000 plus people, all in a room. It was like the initial introduction to the event was like an Olympic ceremony, you know. It was unbelievable, everyone waving flags everywhere. Didn't know what was going on, but it didn't half make me smile. And I realised that everyone else was positive, everyone was doing something meaningful, everyone was healthy. There was no moaning going on or anything like that. Started to hear the stories on stage, just everything blew me away. I saw the success stories as well, and that gave me belief that I could potentially do what they're doing, because everyone was just normal. There was no like massively intelligent people. They were just duplicating a system that worked and continues to work. So yeah, I came back from France buzzing, started telling all my friends and family about what I'd seen, and the reaction I got was pretty bad. You know, a lot of people don't understand network marketing. They don't want to take an interest in health, and when I was banging on about it, they just shunned me away. Basically, they closed the doors on me. I started talking about it on Facebook, and people were slating me. You know, I was getting a lot of people arguing with me. No one had the time really to listen to me about Juice Plus. So yeah, at first it was tough. So the first couple of months really, I was struggling to get going. None of my friends would come to events or anything like that. So yeah, I was on my own. But because of that Nice conference, I was just too invested. I knew this was going to be for me, so I was determined to make it work. So I started rebranding myself. Started sharing my lifestyle, not just juice plus, juice plus, juice plus. I started sharing, creating myself on other social networks, people that don't know me. And before long, I was getting a lot of customers through like Instagram and web design, little things like that. And it was a combination of things of creating me as a person, rebranding myself, that really took off, and people just wanted in, and they also wanted in the business as well. So I sacked off a lot of my old friends. In fact, a lot of them sacked me off. But the thing is, 9 months later, I'm still doing what I've always been doing. I'm still talking about Juice Plus, but I'm showing off my new lifestyle, because now I do own my own life. I am able to work from anywhere. Back in February, I was able to leave my other job. And people are realising now, oh my God, this is serious. Tom's serious. And that's something you'd have to do as well, is show the longevity in this. It's not a flash in the pan. It's not a fad. It's here for a long, long time. Okay, so back to my story again. So once I started getting a lot of customers, January just sort of clicked. I'd hit a couple of promotions, got some nice bonuses, started recruiting a few people, even managed to get a few friends involved, which was really cool. And I knew that the only way to progress from there was to grow an even bigger network. So it was all about teaching the people I brought in. And at this point, I hadn't really done that. I'd sort of left them alone. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I regret that, but I've learnt from it. So I started teaching quite well as well. I'm putting a lot of effort in my team members, not just me. And yeah, in February or so, it was really starting to grow, And then, luckily again, Rob just came out of nowhere and said, look, you guys are doing really well. I'll give you an incentive, hit your next promotion, and I'll take you to LA and Arizona with me in April. And that was a massive incentive, so I just went for it. I ran with it, and I did it. I got to the next promotion, and Rob paid for me to go to LA and Arizona. Free flights, free everything. And wow, I mean, that, if Nice was good, Arizona was just even better. It was so special. And because it's in America, and the company's been in America for a long time, again, it just clicked, like, oh my God, the size of it, the longevity. We were fortunate enough to go to a guy's house, multi-millionaire, and he's in the business. And he was just chatting to me about the value of his house, how he managed to get the price lower. And I was just like, so what sort of price did you get it for? And he said, oh, just 2.6 million. And I was just thinking, oh my God, like 2.6 million. Like the figures these guys are talking about, the lifestyle that they live. I didn't even know it was possible for me. Working my old dead-end job, I never would have achieved that. You can't get rich slow, and this is something he touched on, his momentum, how he built his network, how he's got people all over the world in his business, the family side of things. And I was just like, yeah, this is me, definitely me. If I thought I was going to be in it forever before, I knew I was going to be in it forever now. So again, I just started promoting what I'd seen, telling people what I heard. And people know I'm serious, like they know I am in this for a long, long time. And that's where I'm at today, really. Again, still getting a lot of customers, really trying to help people with their health. And what it's given me is just all this, really, all this time freedom, the chance to work whenever I want, work from wherever I want. I spend a lot of time with my little dog, Millie. I go cycling a lot more now. Obviously, the products have been amazing for me. If you haven't seen my story on the products, I'll leave you the link in the description as well for that, because the products have been really good for me. Massively helped me with my health. And that's where I'm at, really. It's just been an incredible journey. It's going to keep changing all the time. The more and more people I build into my team and the network grows, the more I'm going to have more and more stories to tell. And it's just so exciting. I wake up every day with a real spring to my step, because I know I'm doing something meaningful. I know I'm building something for my family. And one day I'd love to, invest in the farm. Take it off my dad's hands, but not be the farmer. I might, do little bits here and there, but no, I'll pay for someone to run this farm because I don't want it to go to anyone else. I love this place. But yeah, at the same time, next year I'm going to go travelling, and the beauty is I'll be travelling and earning at the same time through Juice Plus. I'll be able to run this business from those countries. I can even start this business in those countries as well. Grow networks over there. So the opportunities with Juice Plus are incredible. It doesn't just end with friends and family. You've heard my story, how I didn't actually recruit many friends. I didn't recruit many friends and family into my business or as customers. The world is crying out for a health supplement like Juice Plus. Everyone knows fruit and vegetables are good for you. They just don't know there's a supplement that can bridge the gap between what fruit and veg you can eat and what you should be eating. Let's be honest, 90% of the population in the UK especially have got are malnutrition. They don't eat enough of the right stuff. There's not a big enough variety in there in the diet. So Juice Plus does bridge that gap, and people are losing weight. People are getting through some ridiculous health problems. So you've got a real sense of purpose with this business. You can make a real difference, and you can teach people to do the same. Or you can carry on with what you're doing, but we all have a story to tell. We all want to tell people what we're up to, and obviously Facebook's great for that, and I do it more than ever now. But is your job allowing you to really live the life that you want to live? Are you really inspiring your future kids by what you're doing? Because this business will do that for you. It really will do that for you. So yeah, if you've got any questions about my journey, what I've experienced, feel free to obviously leave a comment if you're watching this on YouTube. If you found this on my website, www.juicepluslancashire.co.uk, feel free to contact us at the top of our webpage. Let's hear from you.